Noach, ideas in the realm of Gematria from the Parshah. The very last verse in last week's Parshah leads us into this week's Parshah. That verse is V'Noach matza chen be'enei Hashem. And Noach found grace in the eyes of Hashem. Genesis 6:8. This word for grace here is also used at times as a word for charm. This word is chen, or chen, which is interestingly the word Noach spelled in reverse. In Gematria, the word Noach and the word chen have a numerical value of 58. What is a special quality about this word chen, or charm? One connotation that it can have is that it is something special, a certain likability that may not have a specific reason, or that it may go above the conscious mind. Unmerited favor or unmerited grace might be a way of describing it. There are opinions about the level of righteousness of Noach. Some say that he would have been a tzaddik in comparison to Avraham Avinu. Some say that he would not have been considered righteous in comparison to Avraham Avinu, only in comparison to his generation, which was exceedingly wicked, was he considered righteous. Either way, what the Torah tells about Noach is that he had chen, grace, or unmerited favor. Ultimately, it was God's grace that saved Noach and his family over his level of righteousness or any particular righteous act that he may have performed. There is a concept in halacha, Jewish law, of an eruv. An eruv, literally mixture, is a halachic enclosure made for the purpose of allowing activities which are normally prohibited on Shabbos for the prohibition of hotza'a mirishus l'rishus, which is carrying from one domain to another, specifically carrying objects from a private domain to a semi-public domain, a carmelis, and or transporting objects 4 cubits or more within a public domain or semi-public domain. An eruv accomplishes this by symbolically integrating a number of private properties, spaces, such as streets and sidewalks, into one larger private domain, by surrounding it with mechitzas, thereby avoiding, mechitzas being divisions, thereby avoiding restrictions of transferring between domains. The very first Mishnah in Tractate Eruvin, which is a tractate that deals with the laws of Eruv, mentions the term mavui. A mavui is an alleyway that is enclosed on 3 sides with courtyards opening into it from 3 sides. And the 4th side opens into a public domain. It is prohibited by rabbinic law to carry objects in it on Shabbos because people might get confused about what is actually considered a public domain. And you can see a diagram. If you have the email, you can see Pirush Chai brings a nice diagram of it, of a mavui and other illustrations. The Chachamim, the sages, forbid carrying in the mavui unless there is a korah, a horizontal beam across the opening, or a lechi, a vertical post, at one side of the opening. This creates a rabbinic eruv and makes it into a private domain and allows carrying to be done. The word mavui in Gematria has a numerical value of 58, just like Noach or chen. Just as the status of this mavui is up in the air, it's undecided, it's subject to confusion about its status, public or private domain, and by simply placing a korah, or horizontal beam, across the opening, or a lechi, a vertical post, defines it and removes the possible confusion. so too Noach, and by extension each one of us, whose levels of righteousness are often up in the air, undecided and transitory, and for many subject to confusion. We are thankful that it is chen, unmerited grace and favor from Hashem that is bestowed upon us for all the good that we receive in this life and the next. Have a great Shabbos.